Many people want to build wealth but do not understand how the stock market works. They fear losing money, do not know where to start from, or believe investing is only for the rich. But here's the thing, the right knowledge is all you need. This is why the Naira Academy has created the How to Make Money from Stock course, coming up on the 7th to 10th July 2026. In this course, you learn how to understand the stock market, how to diversify portfolio, and also how to invest profitably. Register now with the registration fee of 25,000 Naira. But here is the good thing, the early bird offer is still on. For the Money Click members, the early bird offer is 12,500 Naira, and then for the non-members, early bird fee is 17,500 Naira. So what are you waiting for? Register now, and I hope to see you in class.
So have you ever wondered why you keep making the same money mistakes, even after reading books, attending seminars, and learning about budgeting and so much more? Maybe you've promised yourself countless times that, oh, this month I'll save, this year I'll invest, this time I'll be more disciplined. Yet somehow you end up repeating the same cycle. What if your problem isn't lack of financial knowledge? What if it's unresolved financial trauma? Financial trauma occurs when painful money experiences create emotional wounds that continue to influence your financial decisions even years later. Perhaps you grew up in a home where there was never enough. Perhaps your parents constantly fought over money. Perhaps you watched the family business collapse. Perhaps you experienced sudden poverty after a period of comfort. That event may have ended, but the emotional impact remained. And today, those experiences may be silently shaping how you earn, how you spend, how you invest, and even discuss money. So many people are trying to solve emotional problems with financial strategies. That's like trying to treat a broken bone with perfume. Until you heal the wound, the symptoms will keep returning. And that is why I created the Healing for Financial Trauma course. Not to teach more budgeting, not to teach more investing, but to help people understand the hidden emotional forces driving their money decisions. Because when healing begins, financial transformation becomes sustainable. If this resonates with you, send us a message. Let's talk about how you can join the Healing from Financial Trauma course. You can just comment healing in the comments. I'll reach out to you with the details. My name is Chukwuemeka Oyenizi and I'm the founder of the Naira Academy. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome to our Thursday live session here on the Naira Academy. My name is Chukwuemeka Oyenizi. Thank you so much for joining us today. Happy to be here. Thank you so much, Madam Lucy, for being the first person here today. Yes, Madam Lucy was the first. Thank you, Madam Anne, for always being here. Thank you, Mr. Chris, for always being here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Yesterday was quite a very interesting conversation we had yesterday. In fact, me myself, I had to go back and watch yesterday's conversation because I liked it a lot. Hey, Madam Tony George, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Happy to see you here. Madam Emily, welcome. So, Mrs. Ann says, oh, good, please take it easy a bit on us because we never recover. Okay. All right, I will. In fact, I saw Mrs. Emily asking Mrs. Tony George to complete her story yesterday. I don't think she has. I'll still go and check. But I'm Tony George. We're waiting for the completion of that story in the Money Click. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Why financial freedom begins in the mind is what we want to discuss today. Why financial freedom begins in the mind. Do you agree that it starts in the mind? Your mind holds so much power that you cannot imagine. Trust me, your mind holds so much power. You know, when people hear the phrase financial freedom, they often think about money, lot of money, you know, large investment portfolio, rental properties, businesses, most especially passive income. You know, people think of a life where work becomes optional. And those things are all true. And while all those things might be part of financial freedom, not where financial freedom begins, right? There's a place where it starts. Financial freedom begins much earlier. It begins in the mind. It starts in the mind. So you see, all the things that we want to achieve, all of them starts here. All right? Because before people become financially free, they usually must become mentally free. Before you can become financially free, you must become mentally free. And until your mind changes, lasting financial change becomes difficult. Every achievement starts in the mind. You know, before I came on live for this, I remembered a certain testimony about the Money Click. And if you want to watch testimonies about Money Click, they're on YouTube, right? Just go to YouTube and type My Money Click Chronicles, right? You get to hear people's journey about the Money Click program as at the end of last year. So somebody once told the story, and she said, until I joined the Money Click, I never knew that it was abnormal to be in debt. That all her life she felt being in debt was a normal thing. That in fact, they had a saying where she came from that the Nigerian government is in debt. Who are they not to be in debt? So debt was normalized. But do you know that for the first time, she started seeing debt as something that should not be a part of her when she joined the Money Click program. And for the first time, she said she had been a banker for 7 years. And for the first time in 2025, she became debt-free. And at the beginning of this year, she was able to boast of about 2 plots of land that she acquired in the state where she works in Kano. Change of mindset. Nothing else happened to that woman. Her mindset just changed. That's all. She just started seeing it that debt shouldn't be a part of me. And once her mindset about debt changed, every other thing changed for her. See, until your mind changes, right? Lasting financial change is difficult. It's difficult. All right, it's difficult. A lot of people think people are financially trapped, before they are financially broke. But think about it. 2 people can earn the same income, right? One is gradually building wealth. The other one remains stuck. 2 people can receive the same promotion. One invests that increase. The other one upgrades their lifestyle. 2 people can attend the same financial seminar, attend the same financial program, right? One applies the lesson, the other returns to old habits. The difference is not income. The difference is not what they received as money. It's thinking. The difference is thinking. It's thinking, that's all. It's thinking. Because financial outcomes are usually preceded by financial beliefs. See, if you can't change your beliefs, nothing else will change for you. Nothing. So financial freedom requires freedom from limiting beliefs. A lot of people, their problem is not lack of opportunities, not lack of money. They are still trapped in their limited beliefs. Beliefs like, people like me can never get ahead. There are people that can't even vie for the next position in the office because they don't believe that they can get there. There are people who don't invest because they don't believe that investing is only for the rich. They believe investing is just for the rich, it's not for them. Some people believe money is difficult. Some people say, we've never had wealth in our family. Wealth is not for this family. Some people have already zeroed their minds that they cannot be wealthy. Some people are telling themselves that, maybe they will start when they start earning more. They'll start thinking about this wealth creation thing. They'll start earning more. You see, those beliefs quietly operate in the background. Yet, those beliefs influence your decision every day. Every single day. See, a person who believes that wealth is impossible would rarely behave in ways that create wealth. If you believe that wealth is impossible for you, you will not create wealth. Somehow, you will sabotage yourself. You will. And remember that your belief is a big part of your blueprint. And that's why you can give $1 million to somebody today, to a poor person with limiting beliefs, and give the person 3 years, 5 years, the person will squander everything. Because their thinking did not change before the money came. See, if your thinking does not change before you get into money, nothing changes. Trust me. You will still go back to status quo. I've told you before that your blueprint works like a thermostat. It will always reset you back to default state. And until you change your blueprint, until you change your thinking, you would always go back to that thinking. Right? You always go back to that thinking. For some other people, their problem is not just merely limiting beliefs for some people. For some people, it's trauma. Because trauma can create what I call a financial prison. Right? So some people, the problem is not lack of intelligence or anything. It's just unresolved financial trauma. What is the trauma? Past experiences. Poverty comes with a lot of trauma. You know, I made a post. I made a post I think last week, and somebody commented in the post. The person said that if you ever tasted a little bit of poverty, you have trauma. Please just go and heal from it. Poverty comes with a lot of trauma. A lot. Past experiences with debt comes with trauma. Past experiences with loss. Just like we've seen people who stopped investing in the stock market because they invested before, even though they did it without knowledge, and they lost out and they've never invested again. So that experience traumatized them. That experience of losing their money in the stock market traumatized them. And that's why we're telling a lot of people, the mistake you made then was that you did it without knowledge. Come and do it with the knowledge and you'll see the difference. Right? Some people, it experiences with unemployment. See, some people have been unemployed for so long that they became employed, and honestly, if you tell them to do any other thing, apart from that work they are doing, it's almost like you're killing them because they've been traumatized by unemployment for a long time. For some people, it's family hardship that traumatized them. Right? You see, all these things create fear-based thinking. They create fear-based thinking. Some people, when they remember their past and how poor their past was, maybe the job they are doing today no longer serves them, but they just want to remain there because it gives them a sense of security. Right? All these things create a fear-based thinking. And what does the fear-based thinking do to you? The result is often fear of investing. Oh, you tried to invest before, you lost money. Now you're scared of investing. Right? The result is fear of taking opportunities. The result is fear of risk. The result is fear of failure. The result is fear of money. Sometimes fear of failure is not always from you. It could be that you saw someone else fail and you became so scared of failing that you don't even want to try. And I've told this story before about someone in the money clique that the dad was doing well, working somewhere, and all of a sudden they were laid off. The dad had some money, tried to get into investing, and he was duped. And then life became so difficult for them. Do you know that this person grew up and became an adult who didn't want to hear anything about investing? See, it caused so much trauma in her that she said, I just want to be seeing my money. So she has been making money. She kept making money, but she would always keep her money in her bank account. She wants to see the money. She was insecure. She was even more afraid of trying to invest. Why? Because of the experience she had growing up. Right? So that experience created the fear-based thinking in her, the fear of investing, the fear of taking risks, the fear of failure. She saw her own father's failure and she didn't want to fail in that manner. So she was too scared to try. Right? She was too scared to try. So the tragedy is that some people remain financially limited long after the original circumstances have changed. The trauma has ended, but the mindset has remained the same. Right? So that's a big problem. Sometimes it could be that some people are just earning, but they're never just building wealth. They're not even on the path for wealth building. Talk less about financial freedom. Right? And one of the biggest problems for people in this category is lifestyle inflation. Somebody receives a salary increase. Instead of increasing investment, they're increasing spending. Right? A big salary becomes equal to a big car. A big salary is a bigger car, bigger house, bigger lifestyle, bigger obligations. Think about it. Think about most of the times when they've increased your salary. What first came to your mind? Before you joined the Money Click, before you joined the Naira Academy, what first used to come to your mind? The moment the increase, the moment you hear about salary increase, you start thinking of all the things that you're going to buy. You start thinking of, all the things that you're going to get and all that. Right? The income was growing, but the mindset was the same. The only time your income becomes an advantage is if your mindset is improving alongside income. A lot of people have had tremendous increase in their income, but they did not improve. Their life didn't get better. Their wealth did not grow because their thinking was behind. Because the person still thinks like a consumer instead of an owner. Ownership mindset is a thing. Right? And this is the reason why financial freedom is not primarily about anymore. When people say the solution to no money is more money, it's just more money. It's not just about more money. Yes, more money is key to financial freedom, right? But when you don't fix your thinking and you're making more money, it's like pouring water into a leaking bucket. So financial freedom is not just about anymore. It's also about thinking differently about what you earn. Thinking differently about what you earn. No longer thinking of just consuming, now thinking of building, now thinking of creating, now thinking of ownership. Because there's a difference between consumers and builders. There's a huge difference. Consumers are always asking themselves what they can buy. Builders are asking themselves what they can own. Consumers focus on just spending money. Builders focus on acquiring assets. The question is, we need to ask ourselves, am I more of a consumer than an owner, or am I more of an owner than a consumer? Consumers celebrate income. Yes, builders celebrate net worth. Why? Because you know that the income is not the final step. That income needs to do something. Consumers are always thinking about today. Builders are thinking in decades, in the next decade. And you know this thing about thinking about the next decade, it's that it seems like it's far. It seems like it's far, but just think about it. 10 years ago was just like yesterday. It felt like it's just like yesterday. So sometimes when you tell people, no, think about this thing, just in the next 10 years, see where this thing can be, they feel like, no, it's too far. But here's the truth. The truth is the next 10 years will come, whether you do anything or not. Whether you're prepared for it or not, the next 10 years will come. Whether you start or not, the next 10 years will come. People have seen the next 10 years as far, but then they've gone 5 years into that next 10 years already. Only if they started 5 years ago. Only if. Right? So, what makes the difference in you begins in your mind long before you even see anything in your bank account. Right? And you see, the things that we hear growing up is a major challenge for us, a lot of people. Right? All this, money is just life are just survival. Life is just all about survival. And the biggest of them all, pass your exams and get a good job. Just get a good job. That one alone, has restricted a lot of people to just one way of making money. I say that always. Abi investing is gambling. That's the one that reigns for the young people today. See, if you find any young adults today, right, especially the ones who are still in the university, what they see as investing is actually gambling. They see gambling as investing. In fact, they think about, you see them checking their phones, they say, let me check my investments. Unfortunately. Another very difficult, terrible thing a lot of people had growing up is that rich people are lucky, rich people are greedy, rich people are wicked, rich people are this. Have you met? See, the biggest problem of a typical poor person is not his own condition. It's a rich person. It's a rich person. And I know one author once said that you cannot despise that which you wish for. You can't want to be rich and hate the rich. It's not possible. You will not be rich. It is minus 1 plus 1. Right? You cannot want to be rich, but you hate every rich person around you. The truth is that some of the beliefs that people have were born out of, genuine hardships. That's the truth. Some were inherited too. So were inherited from generation to generation. Trauma is inherited. Right? In fact, people have inherited generational poverty. That the trauma that comes with it is killing. But the problem is, no matter what your belief is, we all need to be careful. If not, the survivor thinking becomes a permanent thinking. Right? See, the mindset that helps somebody survive poverty is not always the same mindset that helps him to build wealth. They're two different things. I want to say it again. The mindset that helps somebody survive poverty is not the same mindset that helps the person to build wealth. Two different mindsets. Remember, I told you something just, I think last week, when I was talking about how the Nigerian Civil War or the Biafran War made Igbos develop this culture of building first in the village. Right? And I told you that as at the time this thing was first done, right, that mindset as at that time was valid. As at that time. Why? Because survival was their first agenda. So because they were killed in other parts of the country, because their properties were taken over in other parts of the country, they developed a response. Home is the best place to invest. And as at that time, it made sense to them. It was relevant. Because as at that time, it was about survival. But today, the same mindset has been carried on till today. And that mindset cannot help to build wealth. It has to change. So the mindset that helped you to survive poverty is not the same mindset that will help you to build wealth. It's not the same. So it has to change. Because if you continue using survival mindset, right, then, and you make it permanent, then you will just keep wanting to survive. You won't thrive. So at some point in our lives, financial growth requires us to shift from just merely surviving to become strategically thinking, to become strategic thinkers. Right? We need to move from surviving to strategically thinking. And there's something else that is required in us thinking strategically on our journey to financial freedom, and it's delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. Right? Because for me, one of the biggest mental shifts that everybody who has created wealth has made is to learn to delay gratification. It's when you understand that everything that you spent today can be invested tomorrow. Right? That's why people who create wealth are willing to drive modest cars. They are willing to wait. They are willing to live below their means. They are willing to invest consistently. because they understand that that temporary sacrifice can create long-term freedom. So financial freedom also begins when you can say, not now, I can wait. Right? Not now, I can wait. Not now, I can wait. That's when it begins. All right? That's when it begins. And that's why wealthy families think differently. Families that have built wealth across generations, they pass down something that is more important than money. What they pass down is a way of thinking. It's not money they pass down. What they pass down is a way of thinking. Is a way of thinking. Unfortunately, even when somebody who is poor becomes rich, right? And they don't change their thinking, they think that what they need to pass down to their children is riches. And that's where they still make the mistake. But the key, the secret to maintaining generational wealth is not just money or assets, right? It is thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking. Because the truth is, the next generation cannot preserve wealth without wisdom. They can't preserve what they've inherited without wisdom. Right? So wealth grows where the right mindset exists. So it means that even if you're going to pass asset, you need to pass down the right mindset. See, this thing about mindset, it's important. Even the Bible talks a lot about it. Right? The Bible said in Romans 12:2 that be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Right? So before changes, before results change, before circumstances change, the mind has to change. It has to change. So this thing applies both spiritually, it also applies financially. Many people need more than just an investment strategy for their lives today. They need a renewed way of thinking. They just need to think differently. They need to think differently. Right? They need to think differently. If money alone can create financial freedom, trust me, a lot of people today will be financially free. If financial freedom was just about money and not mindsets included, there will be a lot of, do you know how many lottery winners have won millions of dollars and eventually became broke? Do you know how many? If all you people need to create financial freedom is money, then every lottery winner today will become wealthy. They will remain wealthy today. If it was just all about money, athletes would never go broke. Have you heard about several athletes who went broke immediately their career ended? A lot. Athletes, boxers, name it. A lot of them go broke immediately after their career ends. Did they not make money? If money alone created financial freedom, celebrities would never face financial issues. But from time to time, you still see some celebrities who are going bankrupt. See, we know it's not true. Financial freedom is not simply a money issue, it's a mindset issue. Right? Money can amplify wisdom. Money cannot replace wisdom. It can't replace wisdom. And money can also amplify the wrong mindset. Money just amplifies whatever situation you are in, and more money comes in, it amplifies it. It amplifies it. So a lot of people are trying to build wealth without addressing their beliefs, without addressing their fears, without changing their emotional patterns, without wanting to change their thinking, right? And all those things are influencing their decisions. Like I would always tell you, Morgan Housel would also tell you that money is more about how you behave than what you think. What is how you behave? How you behave is about your beliefs. Your fears affect how you behave. Your emotional patterns affect how you behave. Your beliefs affect how you behave. Right? So how you behave is key. It influences your decisions every day. So changing your habits and ultimately your behavior is the biggest winner for you on this your money journey. You cannot want a different financial result, but you're maintaining the same financial programming. Right? You're maintaining the same financial programming. It will not work. It won't work. So the greatest financial breakthroughs happen when people begin to examine what they believe about money. It happens when people begin to examine where those beliefs are coming from. It happens when people start to ask how those beliefs are affecting their behavior and begin to ask themselves which beliefs need to change. So you need to ask yourself, which belief needs to change? Financial freedom is not just a destination, it is a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking. So before you ever build wealth in your bank account, you must build it in your mind. And if you can't see it in your mind, it becomes difficult to see it in your bank account. But you know the biggest problem is for some people is they just can't see it. They can't imagine it. They can't imagine that themselves will become somebody one day who become totally financially free. So they just can't imagine it. See, and what you can't imagine, you can't create. You can't achieve. Right? You can't achieve. You can't achieve. You know, before you can ever create financial freedom externally, that freedom must happen internally in you. And what is the freedom? It is freedom from fear. It is freedom from limiting beliefs. It is freedom from comparison. It is freedom from emotional spending. It is freedom from financial trauma. It is freedom from scarcity thinking. It is freedom from wanting to impress other people. It is freedom from always wanting to show off. It's freedom from all these things. Right? That's the real freedom. It is freedom from wanting to impress everybody around you. It's freedom from wanting everybody to see that you've succeeded. It is freedom from wanting to prove something. See, that freedom comes first. Before the financial freedom that happens externally, you must become free internally. I say it again. Before you can create financial freedom externally, you must experience freedom internally. Because at the end of the day, your financial life would rarely rise above your financial mindset. Your mindset determines the level where you remain financially. Your financial mindset cannot be in primary one, right? And your financial life is in postgraduate studies. See, even if somehow something happens, you win lottery, you will find yourself back to primary one because that's where your mindset is. And that's what happens. That has happened to a lot of people that have come in contact with money, but they did not increase their financial mindset. I always tell you, it's like holding a glass. It's like a glass of water. If you don't increase the capacity of the glass, it will not increase the amount of water it will take. So if you like, a glass of water takes approximately maybe 150 ml of 150 is up to 150 ml. Yeah, it's 150 ml of water, right? Any other thing you pour into that glass will spill away. So at the end of the day, the glass retains only what its capacity can take. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They come in contact with a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they remain where their financial mindsets can accommodate. So if your financial mindset is set to accommodate just a few thousands, even if you make 1 billion, you will get back to where you were. It might sound impossible, but please go and look at so many lottery winners who have won millions of dollars. Go and look at a lot of athletes who have made millions of dollars in their career. But eventually, they went back to what their capacity, what their mindset could accommodate. Right? They went back to it. And that's why I always tell you, financial freedom does not begin with money. It begins with the way you think about it. Right? So many people don't need more financial information. I will say it over and over again. A lot of people need healing. A lot of people need clarity. Yes. A lot of people just need healing. A lot of people just need to understand better. They just need clarity. They just don't get it. Right? A lot of people don't just get it. They don't. A lot of people need a new relationship with money. And that's exactly why we're running the Healing from Financial Trauma course. It's a program where we want to show you how your childhood experiences have shaped your money habits today. It's a course where we want to show you how your hidden beliefs are driving your spending, driving your savings, they're driving your investing decisions. It's a place where we want to break generational cycles of struggle. Well, we want to show you how you can begin move from scarcity thinking to wealth building thinking. Because one truth would always stare us in the face, and that truth is you cannot consistently create a financial future that contradicts your deepest money beliefs. So you need to change your money beliefs. But your money beliefs are hanging on to something. You need to find out what it is and let it loose. You need to let it loose. That's when your transformation begins. Trust me. Right? It begins when everything here changes. Once this place changes, every other thing will change for you. It will change for you. Right? So joining the Healing for Financial Trauma course is sacrosanct for everyone. Please, everybody should join. Get people to join. It can even be a gift you give to somebody. See, for some people, instead of just giving them money over and over and over again, just give them access to liberation. Right? See, a change in their mindset might transform their life better than any amount of money you can ever give them. Because no matter the amount of money you give to them, if there's no change in mindset, they'll still remain where they are. Because the truth is that when the mind is healed, wise financial decisions become easier. When the mindset changes, wise financial decisions become easier. And when wise financial decisions become consistent, that's when wealth becomes more possible. And that's where we'll come to the end of today's session. Yes, thank you so much. Eternal freedom begins before financial freedom. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Yes, please remember, it's about your mindset. And changing your mindset requires that you get to hear the right things, requires that you are among the right people. All right? So it's everything. The way you think affects everything. Right? Jim Rohn will say that the day the day your thinking changes is the day everything changes for you. Right? The day you change how you think, every other thing will change for you. Every other thing. Our mind controls everything. Right? So thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. This is where we'll come to the end of today's session. I don't know those who are here and in Enugu. Remember, Enugu, we're coming to you tomorrow. All right, we'll be in Enugu tomorrow on Saturday. We're going to be on Saturday for the TIP summit. Right, we're going to be there for the TIP summit on Saturday. So if you're in Enugu, I hope we can connect on Saturday. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's been my pleasure. Yes, I see your comments. Madam Atinuke, could I see? Thank you so much for being here. Madam Freedom, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to every billionaire who is in the house, right? Thank you so much for always showing up. If you're here and you're not yet in the Money Click program, please find yourself into the Money Click program. Find yourself in the Money Click program. All right. If you look at the screen right now, at the bottom of the screen, you see information about how you can join the 2027 Money Click program, right? And the good thing is you can pay an installment and until you finish your installment before the 31st of December 2026. All right. You can also just book your space with 10,000 naira for a single slot and 20,000 naira for a couple slots. Bring your people into the Money Click program. The more you have people around you who think alike, the more you progress, the more you have less people who are dragging you down. All right. Remember also, we don't just run the Money Click, we also run the Money Click Kids for adults. And you have children who are up to the age of 7, right? Between 7 and 17 can join the Money Click program. And next cohort starts in January. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This is where we'll come to the end of today's class. Also, remember, we have the How to Make Money from Stocks course coming up. And if you know you've not taken this course and you want to excel in the stock market, you need knowledge. Please find your way into the How to Make Money from Stocks webinar. It's coming up next month. You don't want to miss it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this class today. This is where we come to the end. The end. Yes, this is the end. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Madam Emily. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Yes, yes. Yes, thank you, Madam Tony George. Yes, so yes. So. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you again next week, Wednesday. We're going to be back here again by 12 noon. Have a lovely day ahead and have a lovely weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
So have you ever wondered why you keep making the same money mistakes, even after reading books, attending seminars, and learning about budgeting and so much more? Maybe you've promised yourself countless times that, oh, this month I'll save, this year I'll invest, this time I'll be more disciplined. Yet somehow you end up repeating the same cycle. What if your problem isn't lack of financial knowledge? What if it's unresolved financial trauma? Financial trauma occurs when painful money experiences create emotional wounds that continue to influence the financial decisions even years later. Perhaps you grew up in a home where there was never enough. Perhaps your parents constantly fought over money. Perhaps you watched the family business collapse. Perhaps you experienced sudden poverty after a period of comfort. That event may have ended, but the emotional impact remained. And today, those experiences may be silently shaping how you earn, how you spend, how you invest, and even discuss money. So many people are trying to solve emotional problems with financial strategies. That's like trying to treat a broken bone with perfume. Until you heal the wound, the symptoms will keep returning. And that is why I created the Healing for Financial Trauma course. Not to teach more budgeting, not to teach more investing, but to help people understand the hidden emotional forces driving their money decisions. Because when healing begins, financial transformation becomes sustainable. If this resonates with you, send us a message. Let's talk about how you can join the Healing from Financial Trauma course. You can just comment healing in the comments. I'll reach out to you with the details. My name is Chukwemeka Oyeleze and I'm the founder of the Viral Academy. Bye-bye.